Morrison and the Doors at WPTR, probably the biggest and the most requested record of 1967.
That voice, believe it or not, is Ralph Iannotti, way back in 1967. Playing the hits. Well, today, after a remarkable 52 years in broadcasting, Ralph is retiring.
Ralph began his career on the radio in his home state of New York, serving as a DJ and a talk show host. His career in television began in 1976, also in New York. And
in 1982, he made the move to Pittsburgh and went on to become one of the most trusted journalists in the city.
Stacey Smith recently sat down with Ralph to reflect on his incredible career here at KDKA.
Freedom of speech, wherever you live or go in this country, it's a basic American right.
For 37 years, Ralph Iannotti has been covering the news of Pittsburgh, and he has loved every minute of it.
How many people can say, honestly, they don't work for a living, they enjoy their job, and I do.
Ralph has covered thousands of stories, and because he has worked the night shift all these years, most of them have been crime-related.
The first major story I remembered in the early 80s was Cherry Mahan.
Mahan disappeared after she got off her school bus less than 100 yards from her trailer home.
To this day, there has been no sighting of her that we know of. One of the most horrific stories was the murder of that young boy on the north side. His name was Scott Drake, 11 years old.
24 hours after Drake's body was discovered, police and investigators continued to talk to people scouring north side neighborhoods, looking for answers, clues, and hoping that something or somebody would lead them to the little boy's killer.
Do you ever get tired of going out and doing a crime story?
I don't. No, I don't. I mean, I don't like them necessarily, but the fact of the matter is it's news.
Ralph has also covered some of the biggest events in western Pennsylvania over the past 4 decades, including the 1985 tornado outbreak.
We have a disaster on our hands tonight in Big Beaver Borough. I'm standing in front of what was a shopping center.
It was a Memorial Day strike. I remember it was that SWAT that came through. I remember I was in Big Beaver Borough when the tornadoes hit, and I couldn't believe the damage.
And in 1994, Ralph was one of the first reporters at the scene following the crash of U.S. Air Flight 427.
Calls started coming into the newsroom that there was something going on near the airport in Hopewell Township, Aliquippa area. And it wasn't just a single call. I mean, the calls were coming in.
The plane went down head first, straight down into a hillside here in Beaver County, not far from the Pittsburgh International Airport.
We interviewed a nurse from that area who had been to the scene, and she said, you know, it was just, again, horrific. There was 132 people died in that plane crash.
You're a storyteller, but there was one incident where you were part of the story as well.
Oh, yeah. There was a gentleman on a rooftop in Homewood. His name was Cecil Brookins, and he was making threats to people in the neighborhood.
At one point, Brookins told police that he wanted to talk with a reporter, so the commander called Ralph to come inside.
And I was only in there for about a minute, if that much. He said, I want to talk to you about the neighborhood and what's not going on here, what needs to be done. And I said, listen, I'll get your story, we'll tell your story, but you've got to come down first before you or anybody else gets hurt.
Another story that Ralph inadvertently became a part of was when the late Steelers chairman, Dan Rooney, had to make an emergency landing while flying his airplane back to Pittsburgh from Steelers training camp.
So we went out there, and about 10:59, I swear it was that close, he comes out of the house, and he says, I want to make sure you get the story right, Ralph.
Rooney gave Ralph a live interview on the news.
Yes. It was a belly landing. I landed in the grass, which I thought was, a better way to do it than landing on the concrete.
But Ralph's career has not always been hard news. Every once in a while, he found himself with a feature story, like this interview with 50s and 60s singer Connie Francis.
I love to perform. I want to die on that stage when I'm 95.
And this one with the princess turned nun named Mother Alexandra.
80 years ago, Mother Alexandra was born in Bucharest, Romania, part of the Romanian royal family. It was a family forced to flee the country when the communists took over in 1947.
She eventually settled in the Pittsburgh area and opened a monastery. When the Communist Party was forced out of Romania in the late 80s, Ralph tracked her down.
And I remember calling this monastery that she had set up in Elwood City, and she answered the phone.
I asked her if she would now like to return to her homeland since the government shakeup.
No, I don't want to see what they've done and destroyed.
I've had a marvelous journey over these 37 years, and it doesn't seem like 37 years. What made my journey so great was the people I worked with, the professionals. I mean, I think that these people I've worked with are the most professional bunch of people I've ever seen. They put up with my attitudes, my mood swings, all these years, and they've helped me become a better person and a better reporter, I think, over the years.
One of the best right here. And here's a quick story about Ralph for the folks at home. We had a big dinner for him, and we had it last night because we knew if we waited until today and there was a big story, he would blow us off to go cover the story. Right. Forget the dinner, I'm going.
But who was that guy? That was not me. He had hair.
Well, the full beard was magnificent, but I think the tapered version is also extremely stylish. It looks very good on you.
I cannot believe that.
Well, I'll say this about you. I think there's so many compliments I could give you, but I think your energy and enthusiasm for a story today, after 37 years, is no different than what it must have been for your first story in 1982 here.
Sometimes it's like the first day back at school. I loved it. I mean, I loved the job, the journey over these 37 and a half years. I have something for you guys. I know it's not supposed to be this way, but
for us.
there's one.
Now I feel bad that we don't have anything
No,
for
no,
you.
no. There's
I gave him a hat.
There's one community in the area that's going to be having a serious crime problem, and it's probably just a few months away when the weather gets a little cooler, and it's Mount Lebanon. They have a deer problem in Mount Lebanon, and every fall,
I've heard of this. Yes.
Every fall, they have to have issues and hearings about what they're going to do with the crazy deer. This is for you guys, and maybe this will work rather than over-the-shoulder shot. Maybe you can use a little deer.
Excellent idea.
I love it.
This was at your desk, wasn't it?
No, I brought it in today.
Ralph, we're going to miss you.
Ralph.
You are the best. Congratulations.
Congratulations. We're going to miss you.
I lasted so long because of the guys and the women who I worked with.